Hey everybody, welcome back to the How to Build series where we're going through every single champion in the game, and I'm putting together a quick guide for newer players who need a little guidance with a particular champ as far as how to build them, where to use them, how to use them, things of that nature. I won't be going into masteries and later game builds because that gets a little specific based on how you want to use someone. So again, it's just quick guidance to send people in the right direction with a particular champ. So that being said, let's jump into it with Hurler. He is a rare attacker of the Lizardman faction. Base HP is pretty nice for an attacker. Base attack is actually really solid. 1430 is nice. Defense is low. And then speed's okay, a little on the low end, but it's not really that big of a deal, I don't think. So let's take a look at what he's got going on in his kit. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 25% chance to ignore defense by 50%. So that's pretty cool. Ignore defense built into the kit is nice because you can stack that with other sets that ignore defense. There are masteries that have to do with ignoring defense. So that's pretty cool. There's some decent damage potential here, especially with such high base attack. Unless his multipliers are absolute garbage, he's probably going to do pretty decent damage with this skill when this procs the ignore defense. 50% ignore defense, that is pretty substantial. So, and it's a multi-hitter, so cool. That gives him some utility in Fire Knight. That gives him utility in any dungeon. Honestly, any ignoring defense on any dungeon boss is nice. But even some potential in arena, depending on the kind of comp you want to run. So he's and campaign as well. So he's kind of got widespread utility just based on his first skill. But let's see what the rest of his kit has going on. Attacks one enemy, removes random. Yeah, removes one random buff from the target. Filled this champion's turn meter by 30%. Okay. I guess the turn meter fill comes after? Yeah, it would have to. So he attacks one enemy, strips a buff, and then fills his turn meter by 30%. So he puts himself basically a third of the way to another turn. Again, pretty nice skill, particularly nice in some of the potion dungeons where, Magic Keep has the big shield, Force Keep has the defense buff on top of that passive that's already annoying, which this dude has a ton of utility in Force Keep because not only does he have the chance to ignore the defense on that boss, he also has a chance to strip that defense buff off to help the rest of your team do more damage. So I'm seeing a lot of dungeon utility here. That's a lot going on in one skill. It's an attack, it's a buff strip, and it's a turn meter fill, a 30% turn meter fill. That is a pretty cool little skill, actually. Yeah, I'm digging that. Last skill, attacks one enemy, puts the target skills on cooldown. Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool little champ. I don't think that I've actually given him a look yet, but he is actually a pretty solid little champ. And then ally attack in dungeons by 21%. So, yeah, there's a ton of utility in here. There's a ton of utility in this guy's kit, particularly for dungeons. Even PvP, certain situations, this could be nice in arena. Earlier game, you go into an arena. If you're able to outspeed, you can attack the Gorg or the Shaman to put the revive on cooldown, and then the rest of your team can try to pick everybody else off. That putting target skills on cooldown thing is pretty handy. So, I think pretty much any dungeon you want to use him in. He's got a 2-hitter on his first skill for Fire Knight. If you wanted to use him there, but I think more so the potion dungeons, dragons, even Ice Golem. Yeah, maybe not Spider, but beyond that, I think he's got some utility. So as far as how to build him, I think we want him fast. We want him turn cycling as much as possible. So we definitely want to go speed as a main stat on the boots and probably put a speed set on him. We do want him to have some accuracy as well, so it's probably not a bad idea to put some accuracy on him. The reason we want that is because, one, this buff strip is reliant on accuracy. So it's the equivalent of trying to place a debuff, right? It's going to roll your accuracy against the resistance, and it's the same way as trying to place a debuff. It's just you're removing a buff instead. So you do need accuracy for that. So an accuracy set is probably not a bad idea. As well as putting the target skills on cooldown, generally that's going to rely on accuracy as well. So, accuracy set, speed set. Speed is a main stat on the boots. As far as main stat on the gloves and armor, I would go attack percentage earlier in the game. As you start to get your hands on better gear and more things start to become possible, you can try to swap out and go crit rate as a main stat on the gloves, and then start to bump up his crit rate and crit damage as well. But what I would really focus on earlier in the game is just getting his attack stat up as much as possible. So attack, speed, and accuracy are going to be the important stats for this guy. And then again, once you get your hands on some better gear and you're able to start to make the transition, you can start looking for crit rate and crit damage as well. But yeah, fairly easy to build. Attack, speed, and accuracy. Has a ton of utility. I think he would be a great addition to most dungeon teams, especially the potion keeps, but dragons as well in particular. I think he's going to have a lot of utility. I think he would be nice as a campaign pusher. Part of your campaign team. He could be fun in earlier game arena, and that's about it. I don't know that I would take him into clan boss or anything like that, but as far as dungeon, I think he's going to be great. So yeah, pretty cool little champ. I had not ever given him a look before, but that's going to do it for Hurler. If you have any questions about him, drop them below. If you have any comments on him, drop them below. More information is always good. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.